Capricorn, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. It is for Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising signs because it's a Capricorn energy reading. So you can apply it to wherever it applies in your life. But always watch your sun, moon, and rising sign reading because the energies are going to impact you regardless. So it's good to get some insight into them. If you're looking for a deeper dive and you're looking for some conclusions and a continuation of the message that we start here and conclusions to the messages we start here, then please check out the extended reading. That link is below, and I do hope you guys can join me there. If you love this reading, please remember to like it and share it to your social media platforms. As well, remember, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel to help the channel grow, and then click that bell and hit all notifications so you know when I upload your favorite content. Capricorn comes out every single Wednesday. Around breakfast time, well, between 8 and 9 out in Los Angeles. And then in New York, it's about noon. And then in over in Western Europe, that translates to about dinner time, like 5, 6. But I hope everybody around the world gets to see it. And if you guys are looking for more content, please join me at my second channel, Astrology Motivation. That link is below. I'll always that link is above. I will always attach it above. And I upload a lot of great content over there daily, basically 6 days a week. And if you want to join me for my live daily tarot card readings, please join me on my Instagram feed. You can find me at born_without_boundaries. All right, let's go. So Capricorn, let's see. This is Capricorn energy. Remember, I'll be breaking this down into career, love, and finance or money later on. But let's see what comes out for you. I've got a lot to work with so far. Here we go. Something hidden, something. Usually the moon upright is something that you're keeping to yourself. And that could very well be just emotions or the side of you that you don't want to share. So it's usually stuff that you are aware of, but you don't want to share it, but you could be dealing with it. So in other words, when the moon is here, it's almost like things are going to start coming up, stuff that maybe you hadn't wanted to deal with, or that are going to kind of sideswipe you because you thought you'd put it away. And then we have the Queen of Swords here, which is a new direction or making decisions with a clear head. Also, a kind of austerity. It's almost like the Moon card comes out, and that's the most emotional you can get. And then you have the Queen of Swords, who's very objective. So what that tells me is you have you have distanced yourself from your emotions for some reason. Okay. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, which means there is money coming to you, or kind of being single. Maybe it's being single, or even if you're happily married, so you feel ostracized for some reason, or from a situation that it was really impacting you emotionally. So you're deciding to remove yourself emotionally from it. Now, the Queen of Swords can be very powerful energy in that she's capable of objectively looking at an emotional situation to try to figure out a solution for it, to clear her mind. So that's actually really effective energy. But like I said, there could be like distance that's happening between you and your emotions. And then we have, you left yourself open and vulnerable sometime in the past. And then we have the Seven of Cups, and now there is something that's confusing you. Maybe lots of opportunities, or there's lots of things being thrown at you and you don't know which to believe or which to choose. And usually when you don't know, it's usually because you're not impressed with any of the options, just to let you know. And then we have you, the Devil, Capricorn energy underlying all of this. And ultimately that could, of course, represent being fearful, being afraid, or being stuck. Of course, this just could be you, representation of you confirming this is your energy. But ultimately, there is some sense of fear of vulnerability, fear of opening up, fear that you've opened up yourself too much and left yourself vulnerable, or that when you left yourself vulnerable, you opened yourself up too much. And now you're kind of confused in a situation where you don't really know. Do I want to go this alone? What's coming into me? Am I getting back what I put into something? Okay, so let's get down into the nitty-gritty of the reading. Capricorn. Oh, that's interesting. Now, you never know what's going to come up, Capricorn. Conflict and defeat. So you are in distress. What is this conflict and defeat about? What is this conflict and defeat about? Material prosperity. Choose wisely. So, okay, let's go back a little bit. Let's ask ourselves the question. And it's easy for Capricorn to choose material prosperity and hard work, right? Even overworking themselves. But anyway, material prosperity, good material and spiritual prosperity. Very beautiful energy. Choose wisely. So there are choices to make and directions to go, and then conflict and defeat. Why? What choices have been made that ended up in maybe that's the thing. You don't know. There's some sense of, I don't understand why things happened. I was so careful. I thought I made all the right decisions. And now I find myself in a position where I just feel stuck or locked in fear, or kind of like suffering in my own private hell that I'm keeping to myself. So I'm trying to figure this out. So how about this? Spirit, how about we help Capricorn figure out what the hell is going on instead of just describe their situation to them? What's going on? Exchanging gifts, but there wasn't an equal in the past. In the past, there was not an equal exchange of energies. Perhaps that's the problem. There was a sense of you getting used to being in situations where you were doing most of the work, right? Because in the past, there was not an equal exchange of gifts. Maybe there wasn't an equal exchange of emotions. Maybe you're feeling like somebody's feelings or somebody's commitment, not necessarily romantic, right? But somebody's commitment wasn't as deep as yours. Imagine. So I think this is coming clear. You imagined that if you chose wisely and you made these choices, they would have such great impact on your life, and they would bring you to prosperity, and they would bring you to joy spiritually and materially. But now, so this was imagined. This is the way that you thought everything would work out, but now we're finding ourselves here, and you don't, and you're confused by it all. And maybe it's almost like, I don't even know if I want this. So can we help Capricorn out, please? Breathe. Take a breather, because this could be the emotional stress or impact of the time. This could also be Saturn's impact, being extra hard on you. And then we have serendipity. Everything is happening in the right time, in the right way. So ultimately, Capricorn, the answer to what can you do is you have to just stand back and watch. And you have to accept the emotions, or try not to take things, or try not to be, I know this is going to sound like an insult, try not to be so emotional about things. Not that your emotions are bad, but they may not be valid. Just because you're feeling them, it's your truth, right? It's you're feeling your feelings, and your feelings are valid for your experiences. But ultimately, that doesn't mean they're actually based on what's really going on. The moon card indicates that there is a sense of some things that you don't understand. So the advice here is try to remain objective right now, as objective as possible. Definitely emotionally objective, because getting too emotional about this is going to lead you into a point of, could be depression, could be suffering, could be just sorrow in your own self. Breathe. To clarify the mind, to connect with air, and to ground yourself through air. Get yourself back to your breath, because you can always control your breath, and you can always connect to your inner self through your breath and through control of the breath. So the suggestion here is, what can help you get to that air energy and be more objective about your emotions is simply this: breathing. And I know that sounds really mundane, but it's not. It's actually extraordinarily powerful. So breathing and meditation is recommended. That's what the That's what the message is. It's like, let's get Capricorn to breathe right now. Let's get Capricorn to try to take themselves out of their emotions and start to see things objectively. And then they could see things a little bit more clearly. Why? Because a clear mind is necessary right now. Also, a sense of things are happening in the right time. You're just kind of in a fog right now. This Seven of Cups is it's foggy. It's confusion. And ultimately, it's just the time. It's the time. It's what's happening right now. And I know you want some deep clarification. This is the deep clarification. This is it. Right now, the best that you can do is breathe through this, because it doesn't feel as bad as it is, but it could get worse because like self-imposed torture or torment. That's why one of the first cards to come up was the Devil. It's like you're putting yourself, or you're almost defeating yourself right now with the thoughts that you're thinking. Can we get a little bit more on this, please? Let's get the Moon card. That's what we really want. What's this Moon card here? Conclusions are within reach about something from the past, or maybe something owed to you from the past. Now that could also be that there was that there's something that's owed to you from the past, and there has been sort of somebody re-looking through things, and now money or finances is coming in. It was confused and it was held back. Conclusions are within reach. This is in the past, a time to give rather than take. In other words, the conclusion you always came to was a simple conclusion, was I have to put myself out there and I have to figure this out for myself. Your conclusion always settled on the giving of yourself. And it was always, in other words, it was always a time to give rather than take. And that, I think, left you particularly vulnerable. How and why? How and why, Capricorn? How and why? Okay. That explains a lot, right? That explains a lot. In other words, this was a person that was worth it. This was a person that was worth it. I need to ask Spirit something. Is this person safe? Are they safe for Capricorn, and are they safe physically in and of themselves? So, yes, the answer is yes. We have the Two of Wands here, which means there's networking that's necessary. Talking to other people will help to relieve any kind of stress, could actually help to relieve any kind of stress, or if there's any kind of conflict or attack or intentional confusion happening, networking and connecting. So either reaching out to this person, or this person reaching out, using their network of friends to help them. Reaching out to people is going to help, maybe to collect and gather information or open opportunities. This person could be you, right? So it's almost like, hell is isolation. It's living in your own guilt, frustration, sadness, anger, fear, and ultimately losing yourself there. So this is saying connect. The key to this right now, to get out of this feeling, is to connect either with friends or with connect, research and connect, look and connect. Connection is the key now to opening up opportunities and getting things to start flowing again. This is also a sense of the timeline we're in right now. Mercury is in retrograde, and that's not an excuse, but it is a truth. Like, Mercury is delivering a lot of really things that are difficult for us right now. Emotions that were buried, karmic lessons or experiences that we have to finish up. That's just what's happening right now. So ultimately talk to someone that's the solution. Maybe pick up the phone and call someone, or you may be hearing from somebody that there was a lot of conflict with in the past, and there was always confusion, and this didn't set right with you. So ultimately, this is something that had to come out. The conversation had to happen. Let's see how this pertains to career. Career for Capricorn. Okay, Hermit. You maybe decided to do something on your own, or you're deciding to take one step at a time, which is really smart. You are being very smart about this. King of Swords, you could be working with a counselor, or making a decision to work with somebody that you feel is wiser than you, or taking some counseling, or even learning an education for your career. But these are, the King of Swords is a very fair energy, and it's very wise. I think you're being very pedantic and very intellectual when it comes to your career. You're not taking any, huge risks, but you're not standing still. Hermit is definitely, you're keeping things quiet right now. Okay, maybe that's part of your strategy. You don't want to tell people what you're up to right now. Maybe that's part of your strategy. Four of Wands is here. You're working on something. You're definitely building something, and it gives you a great deal of pleasure and enjoyment. And maybe you've just decided, here's the Eight of Swords in reverse, to come out of isolation. In other words, to work with somebody, to allow somebody to help you, or that's the key. Like they're giving you the key to allow somebody to help you. Ten of Pentacles is here. In terms of career, slow and steady does really win the race. Or you have some sort of investment or financial backing coming through for you right now, Capricorn. There's also a sense of a reason to celebrate in your career, because I think it's like somebody is appreciating your value. Somebody is appreciating your quiet, pedantic, committed value. Yeah, you're being really conservative when you're in the presence of Ten of Pentacles. That's really smart. There's a lot of strategy going on here with your career. Okay. Or you've just decided to invest in something, but it would be to build something new, like maybe you've just decided to build a new location, brick and mortar location. Maybe you've decided to go back to school to start another degree. But so it could be that you're investing a lot of money into something, but that will take a while to nurture, but it's for your career, and it's a strategic move for your career. Okay. And then we have money. Capricorn with 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 money. Strength. Wrangling those fears. Being strong. Having courage. Why? Having courage for what reason? Why? Why do they need to be strong? Financially. You know what I'm hearing? It's like this sense of you need to be strong because you need to have faith. Only tenacity is going to actually give you the financial breakthrough that you want. But you do have the strength. It's not that you don't. Yeah, you're going to take on a lot. Financially, there's a lot of burdens. There's a lot of responsibilities you've taken on. It's going to take a lot of time. You can't, in other words, you can make this work. So strength and temperance is very fiery energy. You can make this work. You are creating something. Slow and steady wins the race, finding a way to make it all work. But you're also taking a lot of responsibilities on, which tells me this is financial. I feel like this could mean that you're taking out loans. This could mean that you're doing side jobs in order to just bring in extra income. I don't think you want it to be a long-term thing, but you're doing it to try to make things work, or to like keep your mind like in a positive place. Capricorn. Oh. All right. Let's go into love. Let's go into love. This is the High Priestess. Something about love in the past. Not in the past, but like, yeah, timing. Let's put it that way. Timing, divine timing. It was all in divine timing. What does this mean for love? Divine timing. Eight of Cups. Somebody walked away from you, or you walked away from somebody. This is making a decision maybe to stay away from love, take a break from love, or, excuse me, be abandoned or feeling abandoned. Yeah, you thought there was, you or they thought there was a major connection here. Thought it was meant to be, but then it's like you didn't know everything. Like this was a sense of like somebody wasn't telling you everything, or there was information that was kept from you, or somebody walked away from you that you had a strong connection with, and ultimately they didn't give you any information. Why? They didn't give you an explanation. And then we have this, and this is the explanation. They're fuckboys. You know, like, remember that message that I channeled to you as soon as I opened up this video? Just because you feel it doesn't mean it's true. And I know that as a spiritual community, we're inclined to say, trust your feelings, believe your feelings. No, because your feelings aren't your soul. Your feelings are your emotional reaction to your environment, and that could also be the difference between your expectations and what you see. You have emotional reactions to that too. So it didn't mean that your expectations were ever real. It just means that now you're reacting to them because you're disappointed. So ultimately there was a sense of the King of Wands. Okay, so you have the Knight of Wands. It's like somebody left and then they came back more grown up. So somebody may be coming back and approaching you in a more mature way, in a more mature mentality. We'll see how that goes. I hope you guys can join me for the extended. That link is below. I'll see you guys soon.